The first thing they feel coming back is the cold. The second is the pain, because dying hurts, and reanimation doesn't undo it. It just makes you present for it again. Imagine the worst moment of your life, and then being asked to sit up straight and initial here, here, and here. They call me the closer, which I hate, because it sounds like sales, and the dead are not a market. When somebody is going to die with their affairs unfinished, a will unsigned, a confession unmade, a son in Phoenix who hasn't picked up the phone in 11 years, the hospital pages me. I come up to the 7th floor with my stamp, my embosser, and the cold thing I carry behind my sternum that lets me reach into the fresh corpse and turn it back on. Not back to life. Let's be precise, because precision is the only mercy I have to offer. I bring back the occupant. The lights come on in a house that already knows it's been condemned. Mr. Adesanya, 81, congestive heart failure, was dead about 90 seconds when I knocked. I sat him up. His eyes found the room and he said very clearly, "Where's my watch?" Not a question. His daughter, weeping, said the watch was at home. Did he want to say anything to her, anything at all? He looked at her with the specific contempt of a man who had been interrupted and said, "You took the watch." Then the document, then the stamp. Then I let him go. She's going to spend the rest of her life with that. The watch was, as I later learned, a $30 Timex. People think the goodbye is the point. The goodbye is almost never the point. The dead are not improved by death. A cruel man comes back cruel and now in agony, which sharpens the cruelty to a point. A frightened woman comes back into the same fear with the volume turned up, because the body remembers the dark it just came out of. I have held the hand of a grandmother who used her 90 reanimated seconds to tell her children and grandchildren in a calm and lucid voice that she had never wanted any of them, that the house was sold, and that the dog was hers and was going to a friend named Dolores. Then she signed. Beautiful penmanship. The pen scratched and her fingers split at the knuckle because the tissue is not built to be used again, and she didn't flinch, because what is a split knuckle to a woman already that far gone? Some are funny. I won't pretend they aren't. I brought back a retired magician who asked for his final words, did the bit where he pulled a coin from behind the nurse's ear. The coin was real. We never figured out where he kept it. His wife laughed so hard she had to sit on the floor, and he died again mid-laugh, and somehow that was the kindest one I did all year, the two of them laughing across the membrane of it. Mostly, though, it is the small horror of the request being real. A living person can promise to take care of something. A dead person, given 90 seconds, will tell you the truth about what they actually did. I have notarized a confession to arson. I have notarized the location of money buried under the tool shed in Pueblo, which turned out to be $11,000, in a second family no one knew about, the children, now adults, summoned by a dead man's coordinates. I have notarized a single word, sorry, written by a hand that was shaking not from emotion, but because the muscles were already letting go. And the man's brother read it and said, flatly, "Sorry doesn't undo what you did," and walked out. And I had nothing to file against that. No form, no clause, even as the dead man's face did the thing faces do. The slow surprise, when you bring someone back just long enough to learn they will not be forgiven. The forms protect everyone. That is a lie I tell myself at 3 a.m. The resuscitative notarization consent, Form 7C, requires the decedent's pre-mortem authorization, which means by the time I arrive, they have already chosen this. They wanted the chance. They imagined the warm room, the held hand, the Hallmark light. Nobody imagines the cold or the pain, or that they might use their one allotted minute to be exactly who they always were, only honest now, only hurting now. I stamp the form. The embosser bites a little crescent moon into the paper. Witnessed and notarized this body, this hour, by my hand. And then I let the lights go back out, gently, the way you'd close a laptop, and the occupant goes wherever occupants go. And I am left in a room full of the living who now know something they did not want to know. A nurse asked me once if it ever gets easier. I told her the truth, which is my whole job, really. I said no, because every time, in the second before I let them go, they look at me, not at the family, not at the document, at me, the one who brought them back into all of this. And the look is always the same. It says, "Whatever you are, please don't do this to me again." And then I file the paperwork. I'm very good at paperwork.